And question number 4 asks us, who attempted to destroy the woman? Remember, the woman is the church. Who attempted to destroy? We are looking at history. Our subtitle for this section is history. Who attempted to destroy the woman and her child as soon as he was born? What does the Bible says? In Revelation chapter 12, in verse 4, it says, his tail drew a third of the stars of the heaven and threw them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth, to devour her child as soon as it was born. All right? So who attempted to destroy the woman? Here the Bible says that the dragon, who's the dragon? Satan, the devil. So here we find the devil symbolized by the dragon working through the power of Rome at that time to accomplish his aim of destroying the church. And you'll find that in Revelation 12, verse 3, verse 4, and also verse 9. Who was the ruler of Rome at this time? Herod, King Herod was the ruler. You remember the story when Jesus was born? Herod was the ruler, and he gave the order. He heard about the birth of the child from the woman, and King Herod made it a rule that every male infants that are born in Bethlehem, they have been issued with a death decree, right? So every child that was born to be killed. You'll find that in Matthew chapter 2, verse 16. So Jesus and his parents escaped Bethlehem, but the devil did not give up. Later on in life, when Jesus grew up, ultimately the dragon, the devil, inspired evil men to crucify Jesus on the cross. But the good news of the gospel tells us that even the grave could not hold Jesus. He rose from the dead, completely defeated the devil. So the devil, the dragon, Satan, worked through humans to try and destroy Jesus as soon as he was born. And even the devil, when his plans were never succeeds, the devil worked through humans to crucify Jesus. But Jesus rose from the dead, and the devil was defeated. So you can see through history how the church has been protected through the years. The devil tried to destroy the church, but the church moves on. Although Jesus was crucified, he rose again from the dead. The devil was defeated. Our question 5 says, who did the devil attack after he failed to destroy Jesus? Remember the story in Matthew. Jesus was not killed when he was born, although there was a decree to kill him, and unfortunately other children of that time were killed, but Jesus was not killed, but he was finally hanged on the cross. But the devil, failing to destroy Jesus, Revelation 12:13 says, "Now when the dragon saw that he had been cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman who gave birth to the male child." Now we see the word persecution, right? Namambal ni persecution. Wararautaki. So the devil knows the most effective way to hurt Jesus is to hurt who? Yes. Those that he loves. And that means his church. And that means you and me. Right? Okay. It's like this. Uncle Sonny got Anna and Joeli and Mana. Okay, if someone is trying to hurt Uncle Sonny, but Uncle Sonny says, "Oh, I'm okay," but the other guy will say, "Okay, you stay there. I'll go and go after Joeli, go after Anna." What do you think Uncle Sonny going to do? You're going to be very upset, eh? So that's what the Bible is telling us tonight. Rather than hurting Jesus, the devil is targeting who? The church. And who's the church? It's us. It's you and me. Those that Jesus died for. So if you are going through a very tough time in your life, remember, Satan is going around like a roaring lion, the Bible says, targeting his church. So the early Christian church, the early Christians were the target of the devil, right? So the devil is targeting his church now. And the early Christians suffered greatly at the hands of pagan Rome, which was the ruling power when Jesus was born. And millions of people were martyred, were killed. And anyone who accepted Jesus knew they could be thrown to the hungry lions in the Colosseum, or crucified, or burned to death, or even torn in two. Those were the very dangerous things that people of God suffered at that time. And we just want to show you what the people of God went through. And we are talking about the apostles here. See what the apostles went through? Matthew, what happened to Matthew? He was slain. He was killed with a sword in Ethiopia. Matthew, right? Killed. Mark, Mark died in Alexandria after being cruelly dragged through the streets of the city. Ooh. Very hard thing to think about, being dragged through the streets. Na kulini ang omu, mavoa, and you are still being dragged. This is what happened to Mark. Luke was hanged on an olive tree in Greece. suffering of those people of God. This is the devil's, who was not able to kill Jesus. Now he's targeting his church, the very people who Jesus died for. Peter, he was crucified with a head down. John, you remember John? John was put in a boiling oil. He miraculously escaped, and later John was banished to the island of Patmos, where he wrote the book of Revelation. James, you remember James? The Great, he was beheaded, and his head was put on a platter. As we move on, this is how the people of God suffered. James, the other James, was thrown from the temple and beaten to death with a club. Oh, very scary things that happen. This is the work of the devil, trying to get into the people of God so that to destroy the church. Bartholomew, flayed alive. What's flayed? Yeah, burnt or skinned alive. Andrew, he was bound to a cross from where he preached to his persecutors until he died. Thomas ran through his body with a lance in the East Indies. Jude, shot to death with arrows. And Paul, you know Paul? Paul went through various tortures and persecutions, then finally beheaded at Rome by Nero. So all these apostles, they went through so much sufferings for God. And who was behind these sufferings? Satan, the devil. Remember, there's only one target for Satan, to come and destroy, kill, right? So while we are here, Joeli, Menda Kuniwele Tiko, do not think that everything is okay. No, the devil is around, right? But through all these deaths, you know what happened? The results of this persecution, where people of God were dragged, were burned, all through these sufferings, the results was amazing. Instead of destroying God's church, this persecution became the catalyst for the growth of God's church. So, the Christians who were dead became powerful witness to others and inspired others to join the Christian church. When the devil saw that he was not successful in the suffering and the persecutions, because that gave rise to other people to give their life to God and join the church, this is what the devil changed tactics, right? The devil is very cunning. Now, Satan, after looking at what he did, through the persecution, people come in droves to join God's church, he changed tactics. And Satan decided that if he could not destroy the church, he would what? So where was Satan? Outside the church or inside? Inside the church. So his target now is to join and corrupt the church. Right? Ni sona kai adu tiko na lom ni lotu. It's not accordance to God's biblical truth. Remember, that is the target of Satan, to corrupt the church. Right? So the Roman government stopped persecuting the church and started to welcome the Christian faith. And it started with Emperor Constantine in Rome, where Rome began to form a coalition of the church and the state. And Satan decided that if he could not destroy the church, he would join the church. Which brings us to our question number 6. What happened to the Christian church during the Middle Ages as Satan joins the church? It says in 2 Thessalonians 2:3, let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition. So the Bible is reminding the people of God in the New Testament, you know that the man of sin is here, let no one deceive you. So Satan is here, and his target is to deceive so many. And for the first 300 years, the Christian church remained relatively pure and true. But once the church formed a coalition with the state, paganism began to strongly influence the church. And the traditions, teachings, and symbols of the pagan gods came into the church, while the purity, obedience, and worship of the living God was thrown out of the church. And you can see from history about the church falling away slowly, bit by bit, from the truth, and paganism becomes the tradition. And to read it in 321 AD, what was instituted? Sunday law. Everybody has to worship on Sunday. That was instituted when the church and state became work together. In 325 AD, Easter was celebrated in the church. Right? So many churches celebrated Easter now. That was a paganism idea that came to the church. It was not the truth, biblical truth. It is paganism. Christmas. You celebrating Christmas? No, don't celebrate Christmas. It's paganism. It is the birthday of a Babylonian sun god called Tammuz. In 376 AD, Pope becomes Pontifex Maximus from a Babylonian cult. As we move on, 381 AD, the church began to worship Mary. 416 AD, infant baptism was introduced. Non baptism na ngone sprinkling of water into the go into na ibabubuli paka pekani, paganism. 783 AD, the worship of images and the worship of the saints. 813 AD, the mass transubstantiation. 1123 AD, the celibacy of priests. 1215 AD, the annual confession to the priest, you know. When you do something wrong, you don't confess to God, you go to who? Go to the priest. This is one that was introduced into the church. 1229 AD, Bible reading by laymen was forbidden. That is one thing that was introduced into the church. 1229 AD, Pope claims supremacy over leaders. The Pope is the supreme power in the church. 1439 AD, purgatory becomes dogma. What is purgatory? It is where when somebody dies and goes and waits there while his living relatives or her living relatives keep on praying for her so that he can go to heaven. Purgatory, dogma. It's a belief that was introduced into the church. 1545 AD, the tradition declared equal to the Bible. Ooh. Church started to fall away from the truth. And this is what the target of the devil is. Sampai bararotaki, Satan targeted the people, persecuted them, but he saw that it was not successful, and now he comes into the church and introduces this pagan tradition. Lakamai Ramalua, and you see it goes on and on. And the next one, there's a big list there. Apostasy in the clergy. All the clergy listed there, they lose that holiness and they were apostatized. And this is what they did. Adultery, murder, seduction, conspiring to murder. What else you can find there? Courting beastly woman, theft. Most of them got murder on their list. Homosexual. So it's nothing new, Murder, torture of heretics, murder and rape, stealing from heretics. One there is in 1342 AD, Clement VI got so many mistresses. And John, in 1414 AD, he was found of adultery, incest, and atheism. So these are the leading people of God during the church who have fallen away from the holiness, and this is found in God's church. And are we finding it in God's church today? Yes. And that is the very target of Satan, so that we can destroy us in our relationship with God. Me vakawili kenda, me vakadadani kenda, and this is found in the church then and found in the church today, and that is the very target of the devil himself. The killings, the list goes on. This is what happened in God's church through the ages. 1 million heretics killed for disagreeing over the nature of Christ. Oh, just because they disagree with the mainstream church, they were killed, and they were counted as heretics. In 359 AD, there was a death camp that was established at Syria, thousands were killed. They do not agree with the church. In 782 AD, 4,500 Saxon rebels beheaded for refusing to convert to Christianity. In 1096 to 1229 AD, crusades killed up to 10 million Muslims, Jews, pagans, and Christians. The name of the church, the name of religion. In 38 AD, murder over 1 million Albigenses. In 1232 AD, there's 35,000 burned during Inquisition. In 1275 AD, over 9 million witches burned over 500 years for the name of religion. And there were 18,600 Jews killed in 350 separate massacres in 50 AD. And there was 5,000 from Cesena killed for rejecting the papal authority. In 1391, Archbishop of Seville kills 4,000 Jews. In 1450 AD, 30,000 were burned during Catholic Inquisition. In 1472 AD, Spanish Inquisition kills thousands. 1487 AD, church massacres over 150 Waldensians. Go irna lakudurumana ngona ni bibakararatak during the Dark Ages, irna Waldensians. And they were massacred for the name of religion. And this is the work of Satan, trying to destroy the church of God.